Hi, y'all. My name is Diana. I am a creative storyteller, and I have the pleasure of chatting with Keyayanna today, who is a psychotherapist, wellness coach, and Reiki practitioner at Ashakti Wellness in Charlotte. She's also the creator behind Ray of Sunshine's Mindset and Miles on YouTube, where she shares content on mindfulness and mental health. I'm so excited to talk to you today about your journey. I'm so excited that you made the time to chat with me. Is there anything that you want to add to your intro before we jump into the questions?
No, I feel like that was great. And I'm super excited to be here if you can't tell.
Yes, yes. Look at the smile, loving it already. So let's start from the beginning. What
Okay.
first got you interested in mental health and holistic wellness?
Wow. Okay. What first got me interested in mental health, undergrad. I graduated from College of Charleston in Charleston, South Carolina. And I used to work for our Office of Victim Services, but I was like a student coordinator between like creating programs that introduce the services for victim service for the office and then themes surrounding like victimizations and stuff like that. I used to see how my supervisor at the time, how she really almost served like a guide and a resource, an ongoing resource for a lot of students like that came in having to talk to her unfortunately about the experiences that they had had, and it inspired me. At the time when I was working for them, I was almost finished with my program, so I couldn't change my degree undergrad, but it somehow still stuck with me. And after realizing that I did not want to actually do what my family wanted me to do and be a doctor, I wanted to get into mental health. And that's how I got inspired to do that. Now, so far as integrative holistic health, that came about with my own healing journey and things that um, recognizing like where my strengths were, and how I wasn't utilizing my strengths for my own sake, and was pouring more, I think, into others. Yes. And so with my journey of healing, that's what kind of led me to holistic health. And then uh, actually, my first supervisor used to call me her hippie therapist. And yeah, because I was always into like the alternative modalities in addition to the traditional modalities. And then I had the pleasure of being introduced to my current clinical supervisor, Asha Sims, and I guess you could say that's all she wrote.
Okay, okay. And can you share a little bit more about, I guess, before Ashakti Wellness, what
Mhm.
that career path kind of looks like? Because it seems like you're moving with emotion, right? And sometimes there's not
Mhm.
always a title coupled with
Mhm.
that. You kind of have to find your way, make some mistakes,
Absolutely.
intern, all of the things. So just for those of people who are listening and they're like, okay, like I resonate with what Keyayanna is saying. What
Mhm.
tangible steps can I take?
Mhm. So, just to make sure I'm following and answering the question, so the steps that I've taken to basically get into integrative holistic health, right?
Yes, like
Okay, I
before
gotcha.
Shakti, because after this, we're going to talk about Shakti Wellness, YouTube, all of that.
Gotcha.
Just the roadmap
Yeah,
prior to a Shakti.
right. So it starts, of course, with going through the process of becoming a therapist, right? If you're interested in integrative holistic therapy, it starts there. That's grad school. For me, I got my degree in clinical mental health counseling. And then I'm considered a licensed clinical mental health counselor associate. Right. But then there's social workers, there's marriage and family therapists. There's so many avenues that you can take to get to the title of
Mhm.
therapist. Regardless of which avenue you take, we all have to do what's called continuing education. We're constantly having to hone our skills to teach ourselves and reteach ourselves the things that we are doing and providing, or the services we're providing for our clients. So continuing ed for me looks like looking into how I can integrate Reiki, which is an energetic therapy or energetic healing modality. How I've always been into like mindfulness and meditation and yoga and things like that. So learning how I can incorporate those modalities into the therapeutic space, that's what eventually led me to Ashaki. I actually got my Reiki certifications, I think, maybe about 6 months before I started internship,
Okay.
for my internship and practicum. And so I spent, during that time, uh, I found a lady who's in Kansas City. Actually, I was like begging her to like do some one-on-ones with me because I saw that she was doing that work with Reiki and psychotherapy and everything like this. So I was begging her, like, how can I get on, to learn from you and everything like that. And then eventually, like I said, networking. And so that's how I ended up meeting Asha. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you for
Mhm.
that answer. Again,
Yeah.
looking out for the people who want to follow your path. So thank
Yeah.
you for that. Now
Yeah.
we can get into a Shakti wellness. So from
Awesome.
therapy to Reiki to coaching, how do all
Mhm.
those pieces come together in your work with clients? And feel free to share your experience working at a Shakti
Mhm.
as well.
Yeah. So I love the way you phrased that. So a lot of the thing that really attracted me to the practice itself was the blend of traditional with the considered like non-traditional, right? Um, I would say that a lot of the work that myself and even the other therapists there, it utilizes like things like narrative therapy, CBT, RBT, things of that nature. But then, like I was saying before, integrating like the psychotherapeutic Reiki, Asha is actually she calls herself the chakra therapist, where she takes like the stages and themes associated with the chakras and work through a framework applying that to like developmental stages of our lives. So
Yeah,
I've been participating in her program. I've been learning this stuff from her for about 2 or 3 years now, but I'm actually formally participating in a program she's doing on that. Again, continuing education, always honing those skills so that we can back up, we know what we're talking about.
absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. But what I guess to bridge those gaps or where everything comes together, it's all about wanting to help others find their full potential, but that process is also helping me deepening my connection with my full potential, if that kind of makes sense. So I'm I'm doing the work as I'm assisting my clients do the work. And that's why I can integrate these different modalities because I'm also utilizing them in my own life too.
Right, right.
So
Sounds like there's just a level of empathy as well off rip, just because
absolutely,
navigating this as well. So that's perfect.
absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I want to make sure I'm saying her name right. Asha,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
you said that it sounds like she's your supervisor and mentor.
Yes, so she's
Okay.
my clinical supervisor. So I'm not sure if you've kind of covered like the steps and nitty gritty of how we have to go through as therapists to get to get licensed and all these different certifications. But a part of your process attaining your hours for full licensure as a professionally licensed therapist means you're going to be under clinical supervision. So Asha does act as one of my clinical supervisors.
Awesome.
And then that has also kind of bridged into a mentorship as well. So
I
yeah.
love that. So with her
Mhm.
being your supervisor and your mentor, what is something that you feel like you've learned or that you're learning that you would want
Mhm.
to apply in your own space, whether it's your own practice or
Mhm.
wherever your journey takes you?
Absolutely. So I just actually made a video about this on TikTok a little while
Okay.
ago. Yeah, so I love this. I love this. I can easily answer this. So, um, one of the things that I have really learned from her is don't be afraid to just lean into the things that you love because that can also bring people to you. So, for example, what I mean by that, yeah. So, what I mean by that, like I recently hosted a sound bath circle earlier this month, and every first Sunday, I do a Reiki circle. Those are like community-based events that I try to do to give back to those around us, right? And why did I start hosting those? Because those are things that I like to do. You know,
Mhm.
I would love to sit in a sound bath and just feel the waves and the vibrations washing over me. And I would love to kind of like come in community with others that are seeking healing and maybe unsure where to start with that, you know? So I try to create events or workshops or even some of the things that I facilitate because those are the things I'm interested in. And because I'm so interested in it, I feel like others are gonna see that spark and that excitement and want to learn about it. So she's really been pushing me to do that, and to step into that. One more thing I feel like that she's been teaching me is how to really lean into my talents outside of the therapeutic space.
Hmm.
You know, like she's been the one that's teaching me like you you already know how to teach, so start teaching these workshops. Start, you already are an expert in A, B, C, and D. Start writing this stuff down and doing it. So um it's I will say before I met her, I knew these were things that I wanted to do. I thought I did not know how to do them until
Mm.
she started saying, "No, ma'am, you already know what to do.
No,
You know
that's
how
great.
to." And I think something about like having that push, you know,
Absolutely, absolutely.
is has been helpful. Yeah, absolutely. So hopefully I'll be, you know, owning my own practice like her someday soon and doing
Hopefully,
those things.
let's change our language, right? Hopefully.
I
Hope-
will be. It will be.
Absolutely.
Yes. Because I'm definitely learning a lot from her for
Good.
sure. Yeah.
Be happy to support in any way that I can. Be one of many interviews. And since you're not too far from me,
Mhm.
I'll skip
Girl, I
away.
got the flight benefits.
Oh, and I'll be there.
Yeah.
Thank you for that answer. And also, it's just good to hear Black women finding other great, I'm assuming she's a Black woman, other
Yes.
other Black women that
Oh,
can grow with, be vulnerable with.
yes.
And I don't want to say pass the torch. I learned recently someone was like, instead of us saying we're passing the torch, we're lighting each other's torches. One person
Oh, I love that.
need to go out in order for
Yeah,
someone else to be successful,
absolutely.
all about each one teach one and being community oriented. So
Right, right.
um,
I wholeheartedly agree. And when I sat back and reflected a while ago on where I wanted to be when I was at a certain point, post graduation or postgraduate school, I realized that I had prayed for this. I had manifested this. You know, I've journaled about this. I came across my old little vision board, and I all of this is in there. You know, like you said, I wanted to learn from somebody that looks like me,
absolutely.
someone that has struggled in certain spaces and said, no, I want to create spaces for people like me to feel safe and others to just come and feel safe.
Absolutely.
Um, she was a blessing at a time when I almost honestly lost faith in mentorship from older Black women. So she was a reminder that that's not everybody.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
So
And to
mhm,
piggyback off of what you said, yeah, it's unfortunate that there are times where all skin folk is not kinfolk. So it's definitely
absolutely.
refreshing. And isn't that how God works? Like it's when you're about to drop
Absolutely.
off and be like, you know what? I'm washing my hands clean, and
Right.
dun, da, 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 someone comes to the
Right.
rescue to restore that faith. And I'm glad you didn't give
Right.
up because obviously you're doing the work that you're meant to do.
Thank you. Thank you, girl.
Yes. So next question. Holistic wellness, a lot of people define it in different ways. How would you
Mhm.
define holistic wellness for you personally?
Okay. I guess I'm gonna try to answer this the way I usually do my spiel in my session, my first session with my clients. So I usually start off by letting them know I blend therapeutic technique. Cannot talk.
No, go ahead and we'll run it back.
Um, Run it back. But I blend traditional therapeutic techniques with a range of alternative modalities, and then I go down the list of what that looks like. So I usually start off with talking about psychotherapeutic Reiki and what that looks like. So a traditional Reiki session would typically encompass like hands a little to light, no touch, almost like a meditative state with the person, right? In the therapeutic space, I try to limit my touch and interaction with my clients. So we do a lot of like distance Reiki. I do it using meditations or grounding exercises more so, right? Then I educate them on my incorporation of sound bathing and how I utilize that in our space. I talk about the chakras, the chakra framework that I was mentioning earlier. I educate them on that. I even also remind them as I'm talking about these different modalities, this is your space to choose yes or no. This is what I want to participate in. I'm telling you, these are the modalities that I operate with that I have found to be rewarding for my clients. But at the end of the day, this is your space. I'm here to serve you.
Mhm.
So if any of this isn't resonating, let me know. We'll
Yeah.
try something else. Then another one is I encourage my clients if religion or their spiritual practices are important to them, bring that to the space. Um, let's see what else. Some other things I might talk about might be aromatherapy as well, or utilizing like incense and essential oils and like education about the benefits of that. And then we talk about the traditional modalities like CBT, RBT. I'm a REBT girly.
Can you
And
break
that's
that
all
down
about
for those who don't know what that means, what that acronym means?
absolutely. So REBT and CBT, that's cognitive behavioral therapy, rational multi-behavioral therapy. That's all about identifying um, unhealthy thinking patterns and learning to rewire those and rewrite those unhealthy thinking patterns. Something else I might use is narrative therapy, which is authoring your life. Um, a talk about like somatic therapy, which is about building body awareness, bringing connection between the body and the mind. And then lastly, I love to use strength-based techniques as well, which is all about identifying the things that you're already good at and taking those and applying them to the issues that you're facing. So I think holistic health for me is one, it encompasses the education of what I'm trained in,
Mhm.
but also inviting the client to be an active participant and choosing what works and what we will be working with for them. Holistic, I think, is just the word that means whole self, you know?
Mm,
So I'm helping you figure out your whole self and what
okay.
that looks like.
I
Yeah.
love that. I love that so much. And I hope that you are hearing yourself as you speak and hearing what you have to offer to the world and
Mhm.
how you're contributing. So affirm yourself as well, because
Yes.
that was a mouthful. And I'm like, dang, there's more. Like you do all that. Like that's awesome. So pat yourself
Thank you.
on the
Thank you.
back for sure.
Thank you, girl. Thank you, thank you. I've
Yeah.
been learning and on this road because this is what I'm passionate about, you know? Yeah.
Hmm. And we're all a work in progress. And it's not
Absolutely. I'm
we
still learning.
dance as Black women. It's not like we just have people cheering us on and speaking life into us. So congratulations to you for sure.
Thank you. I really appreciate that, girl. For real, for real.
So we're going to
Yeah.
transition into YouTube. So
Okay.
YouTube
Okay.
page was commonly called That Gal Ray to
Yep, yep.
time. What made you
Mhm.
shift your content and focus on mindfulness and mental health?
Mhm. So grad school. It got a little too overstimulating and overwhelming to keep up. I used to do like natural hair vlogging. I had a big head of curls. And I used to love like talking about hair. I used to like love like sharing the products I was using and talking about like the different hair expos in my area and whatnot. But grad school took up a lot of space, a lot of time. I was in grad school while simultaneously working as a flight attendant.
Mhm.
Um, that my schedule did not look the same on a weekly basis because that's a very seniority based industry. And
Mm-hmm.
so I was lower seniority. I think I started grad school halfway through year two
Mm-hmm.
and I finished in 2021, officially graduated in 2022, like this early part of 2022. So it I didn't it was time.
Yeah.
Um
Yeah.
I decided to prioritize my rest and
Right.
I had to take a break.
Yeah.
Then once things started to kind of find their natural rhythm, I still work in the aviation industry, but I'm a lot more senior now. I'm almost at 9 years in that
Okay.
space.
Okay.
So that seniority allows me to have a lot better control over my schedule. So because of that, I can organize my time a lot better than I could in those early days during grad school. And I said, if I was going to come back to doing something on YouTube, I don't want it to necessarily feel like work.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I didn't enjoy doing the vlogging and blogging, but it did kind of sometimes feel like an extra job, you
Absolutely.
know? Whereas some of the stuff that I am trying to post and talk about on YouTube, it corresponds with what I'm also doing as a therapist and also doing as a coach. So I can just sometimes piggyback off of each other, the just and bring them together. And it makes it a lot less stressful for me, you know. So
Good.
yeah.
Good. Well, thank you for that. And I'm finding as we get older, we just really need to like simplify. And just what is it that what do you find joy in, and how can I
Yes.
incorporate that in areas, or what am I already spending 90% of my time doing? How can I just repurpose content? That is my favorite thing to do, repurpose.
Repurpose content.
Mm-hmm.
I did not know how to do that when I sought out to do YouTube and stuff like that previously. I thought I had to always do something new.
Oh man, but time is the best teacher, and
Listen,
just asking questions and seeing what other people are doing. So I'm definitely glad.
exactly.
I'm happy to hear about this transition because it sounds like it
Yeah.
aligns more with who you are today,
Hmm.
direction presently that you're in and you're going towards. So that's awesome.
Right.
Cool.
Right. And I said, if I have people that still miss my hair content, then they can just like check my TikTok because sometimes I do my hair on TikTok.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
And we're multifaceted people. So
exactly.
you can be whoever you want to be at any time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
So with your newfound content on your YouTube page, what are you
Mhm.
hoping that people take away from it?
Um, So I guess it's in the saying that I kind of like came up with. So mindset and miles is also all about building grounded strategies that help your inner wings take flight. So I think it's kind of in that phase, like learning. I'm hoping that people can take away something that they can use. There I've been sharing, like actually most recently sharing a series on my experiences as a neurodivergent therapist, so that's something that other neurodivergent therapists can utilize and take advice from. I have meditation videos. You having a bad day? Just go listen to some meditation, something to help you relax a little bit. And because again, my work in aviation, I'm hoping that I can share more tips and things for people who work in that industry
Okay.
to take their mental health and their emotional health a lot more serious. So,
Right.
especially right
Right.
now, especially right now, yes.
And
Yeah.
you kind of are tapping into my next question because I found that it was interesting that you were incorporating aviation as well. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I have here what inspired that connection between wellness and that field. You kind of said it with grad school and all of that, but
Mm-hmm.
if you want to maybe pivot that question, or maybe make it more relevant to what's going on today and the importance of incorporating those two worlds.
Yeah, absolutely. To be honest, what piqued my interest initially was I forgot to turn in an assignment for a grad school project.
That'll
And
do
I
it.
was in, yeah, that'll do it. I was in a van. I remember it was like a 4 o'clock show. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm supposed to save what population I'm going to be using X modality for in this paper. And I haven't done it. And I only had to submit like 3 sentences. That's it. And I don't remember if it was my captain or my FO, whoever. One of them joked was like, "You should use us," and just laughed about it. And I was like,
You know what?
okay, you know what? That's what I'm gonna do. And it was doing the research for that project. It pissed me off because there is no research,
Hmm.
or at least at that time. I was probably working on this would have been before COVID. So let's say end of 2018, sometime in 2019 is when this roughly happened. And at that time, there was only one official research paper that talked about the mental issues in that pilots and flight attendants face. And it was written in 2016, and it was a Chinese article. Other
Wow.
than that, yeah. Other than that, there was limited to no research. I basically had to use a lot of my own experiences. For that paper, I had to get permission from my professor and everything. I had to talk to a lot of my coworkers to get their experiences to do that paper. But that's what piqued my interest because I got pissed off. I was like, even more so because during COVID, we were given what was it, the essential workers. We were considered essential workers. We
Hmm.
were given those things, but yet other essential workers in their fields, it's not a blink of an eye for them to take care of their mental health.
Wow.
But in aviation, you have the FAA who penalizes pilots, and then you have a lot of companies and their policies that penalize the flight attendants. And for what? Because we're just trying to live and survive. I've only been flying roughly 9 years, right? And I've seen a drastic change in the industry from where I first started.
Hmm.
When I talk to older flight attendants who have been there for decades and years, it is insane that there's been this expectation set in this industry that we can't address our mental health issues are not even mental health, emotional health. Do you
Yeah.
know a pilot can bear if it's going through a divorce, a pilot can barely go to marriage and family therapy because that could be negative to address something in a divorce proceeding. You know, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely insulting. I understand where it comes from, but the reaction is punishment,
Yeah.
not helping.
Yeah.
Things are starting to change. Yes, the FAA is starting to slowly. Things are starting to change. I mean, I believe recently within the past year there was something where now ADHD is not as taboo for pilots, right? But it's so much more that needs to be done. I don't know if that's going to be me or maybe me inspiring somebody. I know that at least what I want to do is share that there are safe spaces,
Yes.
which is why I offer wellness coaching, because I know that it is difficult for some people to be able to say, I'm in therapy. Wellness coaching is not therapy, but it's at least a start.
Yeah.
It's a start in the right direction, you know? Um, and yeah, I can talk about that for hours and days. Don't
We
even
might need a
stop.
part two because wow. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
it's
crazy.
it's it's absolutely insane.
I don't know if it's because people view being in the sky as like just this glamorous. You get to
Mhm,
travel the world, you get to do this, you get to do that. But similar to a hospital, because I worked in the hospital for a very brief time, well, like a little over a year during COVID. But
mhm,
there's still some things, some similarities. You still come in contact with a lot of people,
mhm,
know their mental state, you don't know their background. And the
mhm.
big thing with the medical field, at least you get to learn these things about these people. You guys are going through thousands and thousands of people every day. And
Yeah,
we're talking from even a spiritual level, an energy level. That's a lot.
it's
That's
draining.
a lot.
It is draining.
You're literally just serving people. There's no, how are you doing? There's no, like, there's minimal interaction. And every time you do talk to someone
Mhm.
um, on a flight staff, 10 out of 10, you're asking something. that
Yeah.
in regard to you. It's never, how are you doing? What can I do for you? Because it's a very one-sided, a very consumer heavy industry.
Hmm.
So
Absolutely.
the more that you're saying that, the more that I can like see that. So because
Hmm.
I'm an empath and I don't know, I treat people right. I
Hmm.
always ask flight attendants, how are you doing? I always make sure to say thank you to the pilot, for getting you
Hmm.
here safely, like just little things because I know that y'all are on the go. And I have a best friend
Yeah.
flight attendant, so I get to hear a little bit more
Hmm.
of her perspective. And I'm like, well, I'm glad that I'm not an asshole. But it's
Hmm.
definitely good to have that information because people are people. It doesn't matter
Yeah.
what uniform they put on, how you see them, they still have a life, children,
Yep.
health, all of the things
Exactly.
we go through as well.
Yep. Yep. And we're going through all of those things, but we are sometimes often isolated from our supports while we're going through these things.
Mhm.
So we definitely appreciate those like you that actually take the time to say, how are you doing? Is definitely appreciated. Yeah.
Wow. And just thank you for educating me on that. Like, I definitely want to do a
Hmm.
sidebar on that at a later
Hmm.
date, but thank you for putting this on your platform and making it be known for sure.
Yeah. Yep, yep, yep.
So, we've been talking about energy,
Yes.
constantly giving energy to your clients,
Hmm.
um, working in aviation, and
Hmm.
even your content. What are some things that you personally do to stay grounded or recharge?
Yes. I'm glad we're talking about this because I have been dipping into these toolkit into my grounding toolkit all week actually. Um, so first and foremost, being outside, preferably I would prefer to be by water.
Hmm.
Now I live in Charlotte, so not much water near me, but I love my overnights where it's somewhere where I can lay by a beach, okay, or just walk on the beach or walk by a lake or something. But being outside, I love being outside. I am a plant mama, so
Okay.
I have
I,
lots of plants.
I can see.
Yes. Yes. And I have lots of plants. And so tending to my plants, I will sometimes just sit around them and read.
I mean,
Um,
so
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I do yoga. I have a friend that's a yoga instructor. Actually, I have two. No, I have three friends that are yoga instructors.
Hit them up.
Yes, one of them, she has a newer YouTube channel, so I've been making it my mission, like when I do practice yoga at home, to just go through her channel, her videos. That's been a personal mission of mine. But even before that, I used to use this app all the time called Down Dog to kind of help me stay grounded and practiced, with that. Um, Singing loud and off key in the shower. Yes,
Important.
so
Important.
important. Very, very important.
Hmm.
Um, Singing bowls. That's a new thing that I've been doing for myself, but I'm also a practice that I've mentioned I use for clients too. But I've actually been using them for myself a lot more. Just sitting in my room and playing them just to feel something. It's so fun. I love the opportunities to get out with my girls.
Yeah.
I love the opportunity to just talk to my girls. I am surrounded by a lot of beautiful go-getter, but mentally health inclined women who take
Hmm.
life and life's healing journey seriously. So I appreciate being able to bounce ideas and lean on them and even have them lean on me when they can, you know. Um Lastly, I guess we could say would be actually whenever I get the opportunities, I'm in a long distance relationship, but when I get to go spend time with my partner, his dog and that's my little Bookie, his dog. So I like he I, that I that's my road dog. Okay. So I love taking him for walks.
Hmm.
Um, like I really like taking my little Pookie's dogs for walks. Cause yeah. Any other time he bullies me. But our
Like,
together time is our going for a walk in the neighborhood or something, or walking down the street to like the barber shop where my boyfriend went. So yeah.
okay. Good. Well,
Yeah.
one, I'm glad that you have a lot of
Have a lot of
practice.
fun.
Take care of yourself. I know that's not always easy to create space or even identify the things
Mm-hmm.
that you need in order to restore yourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead
Yeah.
there.
Mhm. Yep, yep, yep. Oh, let me add one more.
Yes,
I'm a
add it.
therapist that believes in having a therapist. That I forgot. And that is so important.
Mhm.
I have my own therapist. So I'm glad you said that just now because it reminded me. I have my own therapist. So that one's probably the biggest one. I
Yeah,
know when I need to lean into that, So
that's good. Yes, girl.
yeah.
In order to
Yep, yep.
heal, you have to heal. So, yes.
Exactly. And it's an ongoing journey. Like let my clients know all the time, I am not the end all be all because I go through things too, you
Mm-hmm.
know. The only difference is between us is like I went to school to help others deal with their issues, but I still struggle with my own issues. So I have to be active and intentional about the work I do for myself so that I can sit here in front of you and support you.
Right.
So,
And thank you for that level of transparency because I had like another interview with a marriage and family therapist. Y'all
mhm.
interviews are night and day. And she was just saying like that humanity piece, like death to your ego as a therapist, like you just have to
Mhm.
be honest. You just have to be
Mhm.
real. And
Yeah.
I know from a client perspective, we're coming to you like, save me, help me.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
but to get that authentic side and just that human side of y'all, it really helps. It just shows like we all go through some shit. So it's okay.
Right.
Just work
Right.
on fixing it.
Right. Right. Absolutely. Absolutely.
So I have two more questions left. I do want
Okay.
to hear more about the workshops and events that you're having at the Ashakti Wellness.
Mhm.
So tell us a little bit more, gas yourself up. What
Yeah.
favorite moment or event that stayed with you?
So my favorite event that I've done there so far would be our Healing Inside Out program. I co-facilitate that with Sabali, who is the yoga instructor. So it's a trauma-informed yoga program that also acts somewhat of it's not a counseling group, but it has counseling group elements. So that's where I come in. Like the educational aspects about like the chakra systems and everything. I bring that to the table. I absolutely love when we do that. We're going to be starting that back up in January of
Okay.
2026.
Okay.
Um, in the meantime, I want to make sure I got my name. I'm giving you the right times and dates.
Yes, please
Um,
yourself.
yeah. So in the meantime, the last two events that I am doing at the practice would be my last Reiki circle of the year is going to be December 7th.
Mhm.
It's usually at 4:15, but on December 7th, it's going to be 6 p.m. because earlier that day is going to be the first day of Rooted and Radiant, which is going to be a shortened version of Healing Inside Out. I guess we
Okay.
can say it's also a trauma-informed yoga series. So instead
Okay.
of the whole 7-week program, it's
Mhm.
just a 3-weekend series. So it's going to be the first three Sundays in December.
Mhm.
And so yeah, that's going to be earlier that day. I think 3:15, something you could participate in virtually or in person.
Mhm.
Same with the Reiki circles, virtual or in person here in Charlotte.
Okay.
Um,
Where?
in Charlotte.
South Carolina,
Oh,
North
so
Carolina.
Charlotte, North Carolina. Charlotte, North Carolina. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Here in Charlotte, North Carolina. Um, and yeah, those are two things that we're doing at the end of the year. The office is always hosting a lot of different events and activities as well. I know there are a few more that are coming up. I don't know if they're on the calendar just yet because it's not in-house, you
Mhm.
know. Um, what else? What else? Next year, I'm gonna be doing a lot more of my mindfulness for beginners. That's like an introduction to mindfulness meditation. So I'll
Mhm.
be doing a couple of those in person, as
Mhm.
well as I have a self-paced class on that too. So there's gonna be a couple of things coming
Yes.
up.
Yes.
So yeah, the best way, of course, is to keep up with me, but on but you can all like people can also check us out at Ashati Wellness on Instagram, and you'll be able to see the calendar and see the events that we're hosting. So, yeah.
And then as we close, what's one piece of advice or affirmation you'd share with someone just starting out their healing journey?
I'm gonna go with my favorite affirmation that has gotten me through a lot,
Mhm.
and is I am love, I am loving, and I am loved. So I take it as a reminder that to love myself, to love others, but to be open to receiving love, which is
Mm,
sometimes very hard to do. So,
T. I love
yeah.
that. That's perfect. Well,
Yep,
thank you
yep.
so much, Kiana, for spending this time with me and just pouring good energy into this conversation and sharing your journey. It's much, much appreciated. Also, I'm such a big mental health advocate myself. So I love it when I get the opportunity to share with others, like one size doesn't fit all. So here are your options. When figuring
Right,
out
right.
what works for you, what works better for your mind, what works better for your heart. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank
Yeah. Thank you for having me. I appreciate this platform. And I love that you're doing this too. I really do. Because
you.
I feel like it's also going to help other therapists be able to connect with others too, because we can actually go and look and see, well, this person does this person does that. So I think that what you're doing is going to be great for us as well to connect clients with other people, especially if we're not like in their area.
Absolutely.
Yep, yep, yep.
Thank you
So,
so much.
yes, ma'am.